In today's video I want to talk about the issues I encountered while playing the ranked battle game mode. I needed 103 games to finally get out of the division jail and being able to go into the Legion. I am right now at a 151% efficiency, had 61% win rate, didn't play a single game of artillery because f**k artillery. And I decided to play mostly light tanks with some mediums and some TDs sprinkled in between and a little bit of heavy tank called the 277. The majority of the games I did play in the T100 LT, while some games I did play in the EBR 105 and the AMX 13105. And this is what I personally experienced. The first problem obviously being artillery. It is a reoccurring theme on my channel, and once again it is back at it again. Two Artys are still insanely obnoxious. It's always two artilleries. There is never no artillery or only one artillery because everybody is spamming artillery because, sadly enough, it's the easiest way to achieve easy chevrons. You literally just stand in the back, wank yourself one off, and just splash into enemy people. And luckily enough for you, literally only one map is insanely bad for artillery, and that's Himmelsdorf. Ruinberg being now reworked actually helps you quite a lot as you have more positions to stay in. So it's a very good map now as well for artillery, especially the one side they opened up quite a lot. It personally really pisses me off that in a skill mode where your personal skill should be the most or the best to progress as fast through this as possible, artillery is in the game and really is annoying. Or very often see artillery performing very well and being on top of the leaderboards for no reason whatsoever except for them fapping in the back and clicking a little bit. So what is the solution? It is a skill-based game mode. Consider removing artillery, or consider changing artillery completely and redoing the tank class itself, because right now it's frustrating, infuriating and annoying to play with and against. The next issue I'm having or had is the progression system, and this is probably the biggest topic we're going to talk about in today's video, and it is simply also frustrating. Why is it frustrating? Because it is a step-by-step progression system. It is not linear. It's the same argument I constantly gave while I was playing the other game mode, the frontline game mode, where I simply said the most amount of anger which happens to me and a lot of other people around is when you're so close before getting a new rank, maybe even the general, and getting 1200 points, where with the major you only get 900, which is a quite big difference if you ask me personally, and it can cut down your gameplay time by a lot. And that's the same in this game mode right here. Why exactly? Well, it can happen that you, if you are kind of unlucky, have 5 XP points below an ally which now got 2 chevrons, or in some cases even 4 chevrons, or got a chevron for a lose, or you lost a chevron, or you didn't got a chevron at all in the winning team. It sometimes can be 5, 10, 7, 2 experience points, which are just infuriatingly bad. So this is why I still think this step-by-step progression system is bad in itself. Wargaming could, in theory, and this is my possible solution and idea, could in theory think about making it linear. I would do it like this, that in a lose you are going to lose 500 points base flat as an idea, and you can reduce that loss by, and this is very important, by the base XP you are getting. So, for example, you are losing 500 minus points minimum. Now, you did play decently and you got 250 base XP. Now you have minus 500 plus 250, which leads to you just losing 250 points rather than, for example, a chevron or no whatsoever. You're just losing 250 points. Some people lose less, some people lose more, because it depends how they played. And how is it looking for the winning team, you might ask? Well, it's fairly simple. If you carried that game like the best player out there, even Quickie Baby Ducky skill combined would be jealous of your skill, because you did 8 kills, 6k damage in a T100 LT, for example, and you got 1700, 2000 base experience, right? Then you would get 2000 points flat, and maybe you could even consider to give a bonus to winning, like, I don't know, 300 points as a bonus for just winning itself. This is something Wargaming could in theory just try to figure out themselves, because they have the data, how much XP you are getting, how much XP you could in theory need. Point is, it would be so much more cool if you managed to carry that team, carry that game to get adequately rewarded, and not just getting, oh, as per usual, 2 chevrons, or if you're lucky, 4 chevrons because you had a bonus battle, hooray, it would be so much more fun and would really invoke you to try as hard as possible to get to be the best player out there. Because again, 2,000 points almost is an insane amount if you ask me, where for a normal win you get like 900, maybe 750, you know? It's all about balancing, but I think in general a point-based system on the base XP you are getting would be a lot more fairer and a lot more consistent and a lot more cooler, as it is linear and it's more adequately, you know, reflecting your personal playstyle and your personal skill. Because again, if for example the XP system decides to be unfavorable for you, because in the end it's still very unclear how it properly works, where sometimes I'm trying my best to do my role in a T100 LT, being unspotted, doing spot damage, and for some reason a heavy tank dealt the same amount of damage as I did and suddenly has the same amount of XP. Like, excuse me? He didn't block anything. That was his role, so why the hell did he got more than me, even though I did 2,000 damage and 1,000 unspotted assist, you know? Makes no sense to me personally, and there was no kill in between. So this is why, again, in such situations you will get frustrated, you will get annoyed, you will like, what the f***, why did the enemy got this much more lucky, you know? Or why did the ally get this much more XP, even though, yeah, and now you got no chevron, now you got only one chevron, now you got -1 chevron, you know? That would be my point why exactly a linear progression system would be a lot better than a step progression system right now we are having. Next point is the scout matchmaking. Obviously, I am biased right here. I played a lot of scouts and I have to say, yes, it is awesome that EBRs are matched against EBRs and tracked lights are matched against track lights. Awesome. Can we have that in random battles as well? Great. Now, the other point is though, and this is the same issue we're having in random battles as well, there are sometimes too many scouts in the queue. Period. Honestly, when I have to fight for a position because there are 3 scouts per side in the ranked battle game mode, that goes to be extremely frustrating, and it's also going to be quite annoying and toxic. I had people pushing me out of favorable positions because I was there first, and they were like, no, this is my position, go f yourself. This is not good. This is very bad behavior. Yes, I can report them. Yes, they will probably get a ban for at least a week, which might even kill their chances of getting the concept 1B. But why do we have to have toxic behavior in the first place when Wargaming can just implement a thing in a matchmaker which says only 2 scouts? Period. It's not that hard. Yes, it will make the queues a little bit longer, but I have to say I'd rather wait a minute longer than not having a toxic teammate which is now pushing me out. Obviously, you might say about raging, the point is to be the best of your team. This means you should prevail over the other scouts. Sure, that is correct, but the issue is I'm not a piece of shit. Yes, I do rage a lot in stream and I do put people on my block list, period. However, I'm not going to push out some other because they were quicker in a position, even though it would help me quite a lot to be in that position, you know? That's the point. I am raging, yes, but I'm not an unfair player, period. And I think that this is why we should have scout matchmaking as well, where there is just a maximum of 2 scouts, because many maps are balanced on the fact that there can work 2 scouts. Malinovka, best example. 1 scouts the hill, 1 goes for the field. Prokhorovka, 1 scouts the TD line, another guy does a little bit of middle, maybe even top position, you know? In general, I think that this is very important for Wargaming to understand that in scouts as well, we do need to have a maximum of 2, like it is with artillery, even though artillery 2 is still a little bit too much if you ask personally me. But yeah, that's the point what I wanted to make here. Scouts, just 2, period. Next point is the tier. And I'm not talking about the German word of animal, it's just a tier we are playing in. Tier 10 is boring. We have Clan Wars in tier 10. We have Skirmish in tier 10. We have a lot of tier 10 only games. We have tier 10 big maps, like the 30 versus 30 game mode. Grand battles in tier 10 only. There is simply too much tier 10 right now going on, and it's very frustrating because it's like, it's another tier 10 game mode. Wow. Yes, you might say, as an example, it is supposed to be for people playing at the end game content. Tier 10 should be the end game content. And I do agree partially with this point. But if you're now talking about end game players, people like me, which have nothing else to do, and if you say, yeah, that game mode, ranked game mode is for you, that might be true. But then again, why not make it in a different tier? And this is my proposal right here. Wargaming removes reward vehicles. Like, for example, if we would say we're playing on tier 9, we're going to remove tanks like the T-55A, the Comsat 1B, and the Kampfpanzer 50T. Bueno. Finish. Nothing else to do. If we say we are playing on a tier 8 tier, I want to say that Wargaming needs, and this is very important, ban premium tanks and ban reward vehicles. Sure, tier 8 reward vehicles aren't that strong as tier 9s and tier 10s are, but still Away with them, ban them. And very important is also to ban premium tanks, especially for tier 8s and lower tiers, potentially lower tiers. Why? Let's look at tier 7. E25, AMX 1357 are two insanely broken vehicles, and they're basically paid to win for such a game mode. The same goes for tier 8. Defender, 703, EBR 75 FL10, Prosciutto, the new Prosciutto which is probably coming. All those are premium tanks, and they're very strong premium tanks. Tanks which cannot really be compared to tech tree vehicles. The only real tank where you can compare it to would be the Carnarvon. And the Carnarvon is an insanely strong vehicle. Where meanwhile the Carnarvon Action X is also fairly strong, but it has his pros and cons over the other Carnarvon, right? So I would say Wargaming, spice it up. Make different tiers. It would make the game mode more enjoyable for a lot of people, and it would also encourage people to keep other tanks like tier 8s, tier 9s even. And in the long term, it may or may not just help the player satisfaction, you know. It would be a nice thing Wargaming could test out in one of their seasons, one of the upcoming seasons. Maybe not the last one, but maybe another one in 2021, 2022, etc, etc, etc. And the last point I want to make today is obviously another recurring theme on my channel. It's a goddamn RNG. It always kills the fun, especially in a competitive game mode. I honestly cannot understand that Wargaming still thinks it's a good idea to have 25% RNG in a competitive game mode. And here it is just so frustrating. It is supposed to filter the best from the very best and from the bad and medium players, right? That is what a ranked system is all about, right? So why the hell is it happening that I am dying because the other guy with 400 alpha is rolling 480? That's just stupid. And it's, you can say you're raging, well, you took a wrong risk. You took a risk which wasn't worth it. You had 480 hate points and you're trying to trade against a one-shot 400 alpha gun. Well, yeah, no shit. But then again, I said to myself, it's very unlikely that he's doing it, and yet, oh, it happens. Great, and I died of that. Maybe even lost the game of that. That is not fun, that is pure frustration. So, Wargaming, those ranked seasons are going 3 weeks a maximum. Why not try out different things? Why not try out having less RNG on damage and penetration? That would be interesting. It is a skill-based mode. So why not turn down the factor which gives unpredictability? People want consistency. People want predictability. So it would be very, very interesting, in my opinion, for Wargaming to try out 10, maybe 15% RNG in the last season of the Concept 1B season. It would be cool to see. Then they can say, look, people are now giving feedback. They say it was shit, so we're not going to do it again. People are giving feedback. Oh, apparently it was interesting. Maybe we are going on with this idea. The good thing is, ranked is just 3 weeks long. That is a pretty decent time to just try things out. You could try things out fairly easily in those 3 weeks. Again, less RNG. Again, another tier. You can say, well, we now got feedback and, well, it looks like it wasn't that good. So I guess we're not going to do it anymore. And that's the thing. Wargaming, try it out. Seriously, in a competitive game mode, having this amount of RNG is absolutely frustrating. So that were the 5 issues I encountered while playing ranked. Again, it is a toxic game mode, and I'm not the only one which is saying that. And again, if anybody of Wargaming is watching this, please don't take this as me ranting about you being incompetent or anything. It's just my personal thoughts, which I wanted to show in a video because I am a little bit better at talking and articulating than in writing. It's not against anybody, it's just what I think and what could be made, and it's feedback after all. I think in every single point I was able to provide a solution to the problem I personally experienced. And obviously, people, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think I'm a crybaby, or should I be a crying raptor or something like that? Or do my points have actual footing? Are my points actually understandable? And do my points actually have any logic behind them? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to let me know if you like the jump cuts, which I did here and there to cut out some unnecessary things because I'm retarded. And obviously, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for 9,000 subs. Absolutely insane. Cheers, good luck on the battlefield, and a lot of patience for the ranked game mode. Bye bye.